Hi, this video is all about discipline.
Hi, welcome Caroline. I'm sure lots of people want to read your book because they're worried about their children's behaviour. Can you tell me how to go about disciplining children?
Okay, that's a big question, but I'll do my best. I think probably the most important thing is sort of psychologically for you as a parent to understand that boundaries are important for children. They feel safer if they have boundaries. The boundaries mustn't be too tight because then the child would feel very constrained, but they also mustn't be too wide because if they're too wide then the child will feel a bit lost and that they're not really cared for. So having boundaries is important, and discipline is a way of enforcing boundaries. And I think it's interesting to realise that discipline is the root that actually means to educate. And people often think it means to punish, but that is not what discipline means. So first of all, getting the kind of basics right, I suppose, is important. And that's around having like household rules, so you know what you want, how you want the child to behave. And they will be different for every family. So they might be things like, say, you've got to take your shoes off when you come into the flat, or you can only have sweets on a Friday, or you can only watch television after you've got your school clothes on. There can be lots of different rules, household rules, but it doesn't really matter what they are, but it's because it's a way of passing down your own values to your children. But the important thing for household rules is that they're explicit, so the children actually know what they are. So they might be, you mustn't be rude, or you mustn't shout at your parents, all those, but they need to know what the rules are, and then they can actually abide by them.
So is there a few examples that you can give us to help us understand a few of the strategies we can use?
Okay. Well, I'll just give you a bit of a general overview first of all, that there's some strategies are the kind of like the positive strategies, and those are things like, doing child-led play so that the child builds an attachment with you, giving lots of praise, descriptive praise, so they know when they've behaved appropriately, giving tangible rewards like stickers. So those are some ways of doing kind of like positive praise. But then there's also stuff around how you can kind of like give children consequences. So for instance, if they're playing with a ball inside, you can say you're either going to play with a ball out in the garden or out in the park, or the ball's going to be put in the cupboard, so that they can have a choice. So consequences can also be very, very useful. And I'll talk about consequences in another separate video because it needs quite a lot of careful thinking about how you make consequences really work. Then there's the stuff about how to give commands, so that you give commands so the children know that you actually mean it. So you don't say, rather weak voice, please go to bed, because the child will probably just say no. So it's how you give commands. And then how you can say come no to a child so they really understand that you mean it. And then of course there's time out as well, which is another quite a complex procedure, but I'll give you another video about how to do time out.
Okay, well, that's a great introduction. Thank you, Caroline, and we'll look forward to having some more detail in future videos.
Thank you.
Cut that end bit.